Can you hear me at the back? The side? All right. Folks, you've been sitting for almost an hour and a half. Can I request all of you to get up for one moment, please? Everybody get up, please. 1.5 hour of sitting. Let's do a Baba Ramdev, for only 30 seconds. Everybody get your hand up and swing to the right and stretch to the left and stretch to the right, stretch to the left, stretch to the right, and stretch to the left. Now swing to the right. Don't hit anybody, please. To the left, swing to the right, swing to the left, swing to the right, and swing to the left. Now, folks, just do one thing. Could I borrow you, sir, for a moment? Could you come up here? You're safe. Don't worry about it. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Folks, we all will grab a partner after this and just do this one little thing. Sir, turn around here. I'm a little shorter than you, so I'm going to take the lead person here. Folks, keep one thing in mind. We're going to say, sir, you are a winner, so am I. Am I lying? Hello? Yes. Is he not a winner? Yes. Am I not a winner? Yes. So what are we doing? All I'm saying is, you are a winner, so am I. And then we agree with that, and they say, sir, give me a high five. 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 Give me a high. Hey, got it? So we don't just do high five, high five, high five. See, we must say one thing. You are a winner, so am I. All right. Shorter person is the lead person. Grab a partner. Let's go. Quickly, boom. Thank you, sir. You're a winner, so am I. Hey. Okay. All right. Good. Now, since everybody's woken up, kindly take your seats, please. Folks, technology has overtaken us badly. Everybody has a mobile phone, don't you? So everybody get your mobile phone in your hand, please. Everybody get it right up here. Everybody get it up here all the way up. All right, everybody. Now kindly switch it off, please. Please switch it off. Kindly switch it off. Switch it off. Switch it off. Please switch it off. Everybody switch it off. Let me ask you, if I keep my mobile on right now, if it keeps vibrating, ringing, or flashing in my pocket every 10 minutes, would it be courteous to you? Yes, no. Can we practice courtesy both sides, please? Kindly switch off, please. All right. Let's get started. Folks, give me a yes or no answer if you agree to this. Whenever we see a success story or a failure story, we always find there are people behind it. Yes, no. Hello? There are people behind it. Now, if you agreed with this, that behind every success or failure story, there are people, then how many agree that people are our greatest assets? Please raise your hand. Okay, incorrect answer. Folks, I'm not playing on words. Keep in mind, people are not assets. Only good people are assets, rest are all liabilities. Are you with me? Only good people are assets, rest are all liabilities. And goodness anywhere in the world must be cultivated, evil happens. This is like just a farmer, if they want to have a good garden, they must consciously plant good seeds of good flowers and good fruits. But, folks, weeds keep coming. You don't have to plant them. Weeds keep coming to destroy. So if you don't do anything, nature abhors a vacuum, weeds will keep coming. So in our mind, either we have a positive or we have a negative. There is no neutral here. Now, interestingly, there is a fight in life. When a farmer plants good seeds, there's a whole army of insects and weeds ready to destroy his hard work. Now, the farmer has a choice. Either get destroyed or fight and destroy them. He must fight. Are you with me? He must fight. Similarly, this is nature's law. Fight is nature's law. In our body, we have red cells, we have white cells. What is the function of the white cells? To fight infection. Now, if the white cells don't fight infection, then infection will destroy us. That means there is a fight. Go ask a medical doctor. Every day we make billions of cancerous cells and immunity cells in our body. If immunity cells are greater, we're okay and we're good health. That means there is a fight. There is a fight, and therefore we must be strong in order to fight, because we do not fight for the sake of fighting. We fight to win. Are you with me? Our objective is not just to fight, but objective is fight to win. Now, this is my new book that is coming out next year, and I'm putting in just 5 little things. What do we need? If we have to fight, we must fight. Then we must win. And to win, we must be strong. And we must be strong in what area? 5 areas, folks. There's 5 take-homes, if you want to take home tonight. 5. One is, we must be physically strong. Yes, no? We must be physically strong. Why? Because physical strength gives us energy. Physical strength, physical strength gives us energy. Physical strength gives us stamina. Physical strength gives us sustenance. Because if we don't have physical strength, you realize one thing, folks, how many wrong decisions we make in life because we don't feel we are ready to fight. Hence, we compromise. Are you with me? We end up compromising the kind of things we would never do in our life. Therefore, we have to have physical strength. 1. Second strength, folks, is we need financial strength. Are you with me? Hello? Yeah. You see, people who say money is not important, you know something? Either they're stupid or they're billionaires. That guy says money is not important. Well, either they're stupid or they're billionaires. The guy says money is not important. And many times they say money does not get you happiness. Well, does poverty get you happiness? Well, if I have to be unhappy, I'd rather be unhappy with money than without money, man. What's the big deal? And folks, I've learned one thing in my life. Money in good hands always does good. Money in evil hands always does evil. Yes, no. Therefore, good people must get financial wealth. Are you with me? So we need financial strength to be able to do good somewhere. And the third strength we need is, we need mental strength. Are you with me? We need mental strength. Now, what is mental strength? That is our ability to sustain and do it in spite of problems, not in absence of. Because we all run into problems. Who doesn't? We all do. I'll share with you my own life. Folks, I remember 1975 very distinctly, 1973, January, very distinctly, we had coal mines in India, close to 1,000 people working for us. I didn't create them, I inherited them. And the government nationalized the mines, they took over, and we literally came on the street. Folks, street means street. My father had died when I had just about finished college. We were left with the liabilities and the assets were gone. And I was married just 4 weeks then. Some of you are calculating my age, but that's your problem. But folks, I remember a year later my daughter was born, and I sold some of the last piece of my mother's jewelry to get released from the hospital. Did not have $10 to buy milk that night. Folks, I tried my hands on 3 businesses with no money, and I failed in all. Finally, November 13, 1975, I left India, went to U.S., initially Toronto, started life with a bucket in my hand, washing cars door to door, and then, totally by default, got into selling vacuum cleaners in the evening. Daytime I was washing cars, evening time I was selling vacuum cleaners door to door. One day I was doing a demo in an Indian family's home, and the man and woman were sitting on the sofa, and I was on the floor. This man, instead of looking at the vacuum cleaner, he kept looking at me all the time. So I asked him, "Sir, did I do something wrong?" He said, "No." I said, "Why do you look at me this way?" He asked me, "Shiv, have you ever sold life insurance?" I said, "What kind of question is this? I'm demoing vacuum cleaners here." I said, "No, I have never sold life insurance. And besides, I never will. Because I remember back home in India that agent, that pest, who used to come to my home would not leave my life for 3 hours till I signed the application." I said, "I will never be that pest in my life." He said, "No, Shiv, it doesn't work that way here. Look at me, I'm a life insurance agent. Look at my lifestyle. I drive a Lincoln." Folks, later on I came to know he was working for MetLife. And they had a recruitment drive going on. If you recruited a new salesperson, you would get a Samsonite briefcase, so I was there. Well, I finished the demo and I left. See, folks, when you cannot go straight, you go the other way around. We were living in the same building, and somehow his wife became friendly with my wife and convinced her that selling life insurance was the right thing to do. And my wife also knew we couldn't go through life washing cars. We had to do something different. I had a family to support. I had a little daughter. And my wife also knew my failure record in life was pretty good. Even in school, I wasn't the brightest kid. I was the backbencher troubling the front benchers. In my 8th grade, folks, out of 6 or 7 subjects, I failed in all except one. So my principal called me and said, "Shiv, you're paying too much attention on one subject." Folks, out of 28 kids, I was number 27 because the 28th was absent. No kidding. My principal used to call my parents and tell them, "Get this kid out of the school. He's one kid who's going to bring the average of the school." I was bringing the average down. I told my wife, I said, "I'm not selling life insurance." She said, "Shiv, to sell life insurance, you got to take an exam. Why don't you take the exam? If you pass, You have a choice right now, you have, no? I said, all right, I'll take the exam, but I won't sell. Folks, I took the exam. Guess what? I passed. And this person who got all this started, he took me to his office, introduced me to his district manager who was a very sharp elderly man by the name of Joe Bonney. As I walked in, he congratulated me. And he says, Shiv, I'll make you an offer and I'll give you time to think. He said, if you become a life insurance agent right now, I'll give you a draw of $150 a week. And he says, you got time to decide before I withdraw the offer. He said, you got 30 seconds. I said, Joe, you said you'll give me time to think. He said, you have 20 left. I said, I'll take it. And folks, now I became a life insurance agent in a decision of 30 seconds. That's it. They gave me the book, gave me a little training. They said, boy, go sell. And for the next 3 months, I went out selling. Folks, I put in 100%. Why 100%? I actually put in 200%. We all can tell when we've done our best. We all can tell when we've not done our best. I can look at the mirror and say, I did my best. Guess what? And I broke the company's record. Oh, thank you very much. Well, wait till you find which record I broke. How many sales I made? Almost none. So my manager called me right back. And he says, I've been in this life insurance business 35 years. And he said, I have seen some slow starts in my life. He said, I've never seen one like you. What he said after that, I'm not going to repeat because I'm on record. I'm being taped here. But he said, don't come back tomorrow. You're fired. I said, Joe, wait a minute. Before you fire me, at least hear me out. I'm not an educated person. I'm not a doctor, engineer, attorney, accountant. I'm a BCom third division, failed in my 10th. That's my academics. I got a handicap. Folks, the moment I said the word, I got a handicap, that day, somebody spoke very harshly to me, and I'm glad he did. And later on, I realized it was not anger, it was concern. And here's what he said to me that day. He said, you shut up and listen to me. By the way, he didn't say this politely. The shut up was very loud. He said, you shut up and listen to me. He said, you don't have a handicap. He said, you have a bad attitude. And he said, it is people like you who not only ruin their own lives, but they also ruin their family's life too. He said, do you know who has a handicap in life? He said, the doctor, engineer, attorney, accountant, they all have handicaps. I said, boy, I never heard that one. How do they have handicaps? He said, go check out all over the world. It is generally true. They all have chosen their field, they are stuck. Generally true. They all have chosen their field, they are stuck. And he says, you haven't chosen your field, don't you see the world is open to you? I said, Joe, I never thought from that point of view. He said, now that you're fired, he said, you got all the time to think. He said, leave my office. Folks, I left his office 43 years ago that day. That night, I had an appointment about 30 miles away. I had a choice to keep or not to keep. I knew I had no job next day. I might or might not get paid for it anyway, because all our appointments were made 1 week in advance. I decided to keep that appointment. It was 6:30 while I was driving, having failed one after the other in my life. That night, I was feeling so depressed. I don't know what happened to me. I just burst out into crying. I couldn't understand how could an adult not know how to earn a living. I had a family to support. I didn't know how to do it. I had a little daughter. I didn't know, what am I going to do tomorrow? Folks, I kept crying, kept praying. That night, that 30 miles distance seemed like 30 years. It's a lot easier to talk about it tonight. It was not easy that night. Half hour later, I got to my appointment about 7 o'clock. I got a handle on myself. Went up, started selling. I got in at 7. By the time the man looked at his watch, it was 11:30. 4.5 hours. I was sitting there. I had still not made a sale. The man looks at the watch, says, do you realize what time it is? I have to go to work tomorrow morning. It's a polite way of saying, get out now. But somehow, I wasn't moving. He looked at me, I looked back at him. I don't know what got in this person's mind around 11:30. He asked me, what does it take to get rid of you right now? I thought he was asking me the rates. I opened the book back again. I looked at the rates, multiplied with the insurance, the factor, and I said, sir, that'll be $27.58. He said, what? I said, $27.58. He looked at me disgustingly. He says, if it was $27.58, why didn't you tell me 4.5 hours ago? He wrote me a check, and he says, take this and get out before I change my mind. Folks, that was one of my first sales. I came back to my office, went to my manager, and I said, Joe, I got an application today. It's a small one, but it's a bound one with a check, because without a check has no meaning. And I said, Joe, will you let me stay? I make one commitment to you. I will not let you down because of my effort, but please let me stay, because if you fire me today, I don't know where to go. And the only place I know where to go is go back to washing cars. And I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I make one commitment to you. I will not let you down because of my effort, but please withdraw the papers. He looked at me and he says, Shiv, that's not your small one, that's your big one. And he said, I'll let you stay here only if you make a commitment, not to me, but to yourself. I'll let you stay. Folks, that day I made a commitment. And that was one of the turning points in my life. And don't we all have some turning points? Yes, no. That day he would do the papers. And folks, that year I went ahead, sold close to $1 million. Next year, $3 million. Year after, $5 million. Moved on to the U.S., got into 3 businesses, bought out a company out of California in 1984, started a New Jersey operation with no clients, and I sold my company with close to 500 clients for a decent sum. Folks, why do I share my life with you? For a few reasons. Number one, and that is, I kept failing all my life and kept blaming the whole world for my failure, not realizing that I was my own biggest problem. Folks, let me ask you, many times in life, aren't we our own biggest problem? Yes, no. Hello? And till then, and then I realized one more thing, folks. Nothing changed outside. Something changed inside, and the direction in my life changed. But interestingly, folks, the last 45 years have not been that easy. And when people see you today, you know what they say? Must be lucky. Must be lucky. Must be at the right place at the right time. Folks, my new book, You Can Achieve More, which we launched in London last year, and Canada, and of course in India. I have mentioned in there this statement when people say, whenever they see any success story, they say, must be lucky, must be at the right place at the right time. I said, this is an incomplete statement. Folks, being at the right place at the right time is important, but it's not good enough. You must be the right person at the right place at the right time and then do the right thing. Are you with me? Hello? You could be at the right place at the right time. If you're not the right person and don't do the right thing, you could keep standing there for the rest of your life and nothing will happen. Folks, the header at the back of that book, You Can Achieve More, says, if you want to stand out, you need to do something outstanding. Are you with me? Hello? If you want to stand out, you need to do something outstanding. Now, inside the book it says, you hear many people saying, I want to have an extraordinary income. I want to have extraordinary success. I want to have an extraordinary life. Well, they need to ask, are you an extraordinary person? Do you have extraordinary excitement in life? Do you have extraordinary enthusiasm in life? Do you have extraordinary commitments in life? Do you have extraordinary integrity in life? Do you have extraordinary relationships in life? Are you willing to work extraordinarily hard in life? If you are not willing to, if you don't have anything, you can keep doing what you want. You will never get anything anywhere. Are you with me? Hello? Now tell me, do we need a PhD to understand this? Hello? Do we need an MBA to understand this? You know the sad part? After doing PhD, MBA, they still don't understand this anyway. Folks, what we are talking is mental strength. And very important lesson I learned in my life was, I was on commission. I wouldn't get paid anything if I did not produce results. Folks, I've learned one thing in my life. People who want to get anything anywhere in the world, they want to get paid for results. They don't want to get paid for time. People who want to be mediocre in life, they like to get paid for time. People who want to rise up in life, they want to get paid for results. Are you with me? Hello? This is the difference. There are people who say, I work hard. Don't you see I'm working all day? This guy is looking to get paid for time. People who want to get anywhere in the world, they would like to get paid on results. Are you with me? And then, since I was on commission, I wouldn't get paid anything if I didn't deliver. But I saw there were many people drawing salaries and not doing their job. Folks, that is where I understood the difference between making money versus earning money. Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. Are you with me? Hello? Which means wages without work amounts to stealing. Wages without work amounts to stealing. And today most people want to make money, very few want to earn money. And this is very clearly demonstrated by a survey by Gallup, which said 63%, global survey done by Gallup, which says 63% of people who go to work are disengaged. Means they don't do their job. An additional 24% are actively disengaged. Means they make sure that others also don't do their job. Folks, that leaves only 13% of people who go to work actually work. Folks, let me ask you, is this not an integrity issue? Yes, no? There are people who go to work and they put in, Gallup survey said, 3 to 4 hours in personal emails and personal social media. Is that what we're getting paid for? Hello? Difficult questions? Folks, in my book, I didn't know till a year ago, who was the greatest legend on martial art? Bruce Lee. How many of you are familiar? I didn't know till a year ago when I wrote the book. that Bruce Lee's one leg was shorter than the other by 1 inch. How many of you knew that? Only a few. Handful. One leg shorter than the other by 1 inch. Folks, 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm can dislodge people, disalign people. 1 inch. And Bruce Lee's eyesight was -10. He could not see his opponent without lenses. And Bruce Lee practiced 5,000 punches per day. And I've quoted Bruce Lee in my book. He said, I'm not afraid of a person who knows 10,000 ways how to kick. He said, I'm afraid of a person who knows only one way. Ma'am, you know it? Okay, great. I want to give you my book then. You can achieve more. He said, I'm afraid of a person who knows only one way, but his practice has one way 10,000 times. That is the dangerous one. Are you with me, folks? Now, let me ask you, people like Bruce Lee, Steve Jobs, anywhere, do you think these people could have done it without mental toughness? Hello? So what we need is 1, physical strength, 2, financial strength, 3, mental strength, and 4, strength we need emotional strength. Are you with me? We need emotional strength. See, folks, people who are emotionally strong, you will find you can always trust them. And people who are not emotionally strong, you can never trust them. They're whimsical people, moody people. One day they get up on the right side of the bed, you're all honey and sugar at that day. And they don't get up on the right side of the bed, they catch your throat that day. Are you with me? Same person. Emotionally imbalanced people, you can never trust them, can you? No. They're whimsical, moody people. How can you trust people like that? And then guess what happens? The relationships in life are minus. Are you with me? Hello? The relationships in life are minus. And a person who has no good relationships in life, what happens? They are emotionally bankrupt. And what good is life if you have no good relationships? Are you with me? Hello? So we need emotional strength. And folks, finally the 5th strength that we need in life is spiritual strength. Are you with me? We need spiritual strength. Spiritual strength is our moral compass. It is our guide, keeps us on track. Otherwise, it is so easy for us to go off track. That is what keeps us on track with our moral values. And folks, but you know something? The world we are living today, we keep looking at the positive, and we should. But folks, values have gotten distorted badly. Today, entertainment is more important than education. Are you with me? Hello? Entertainment is more important than education. Individual gains are more important than individual growth. People are looking at skill sets, not self-development. Folks, I got the mic about 20 minutes after. Let me just finish up. I wrote an article which we sent to New York Times a while ago. They sent back without publishing for me to condense, which I am in the process now doing it. I wrote in, with the speed of change, the way things are happening today, the amount of information we get in one day today, we never got in 100 years. True? Yes, no? Folks, yes, answer this one is a yes. Okay. Second is, the kind of things that we are seeing today, we never imagined them. Flying taxis, virtual doctors, driverless cars. What is coming? Who knows? Nobody knows what's coming. But with the speed of change, products are getting obsolete the day they're getting launched. Yes, no. Hello? And knowledge is getting obsolete within 2 to 3 years. Check out engineering graduates, medical graduates. By the time they get to the 4th and the 5th year, what they learned in the first year became obsolete. Yes, no. Now, with that scenario, you hear, it's a cliche, the only constant is change. Now, either we are in deep trouble, or there's a great opportunity for those who are prepared. But prepared for what? When we don't know what's coming, how do you prepare for the infinity or the unknown? But there, I wrote an article, folks, going into the future, the only people who will succeed in life are those who master 3 things that are constant. They have never changed, they will never change. So why not master the constant in life? And the 3 are: 1, people skills. Number 1 is people skills. Number 2, persuasion skills. And number 3, prioritizing skills. Folks, I'll quickly wind up in the next 7 minutes. Are you okay with me? Another 7 minutes? Hello? Okay. So 1, people skills. Why do I share people skills? Folks, go check out all over the world. We don't have business problems, we have people problems. And when we take care of our people problems, most of our business problems are automatically resolved. 1. Number 2, all over the world, we are hired for our skills, but we are fired for our behavior. Yes, no. You know something, folks? We are fired for our behavior, not only as an employer-employee, as a consultant, as a vendor also. Yes, no. Yeah. Has never changed. Our parents, their parents, their parents, their parents. This thing has continued the way it is. And 3, lower a person is in life, 90% of the time goes in technical skills, less than 10% people skills. Higher you go up, guess what happens? It just reverses. Folks, technology and technicians, we can always buy with money. But the wealthiest person in the world must build and create relationships. Yes, no. In crude language, you might say, we can always buy a dog, but you cannot make them wag the tail. Are you with me? Right. And, folks, coming to people's side, all right, let me just move on in the interest of time. 1 is people skills. There's a lot more. But second is persuasion skills. Folks, what is persuasion skills? Persuasion skills means ability to influence, ability to convince, ability to negotiate, and ability to sell. 4 things. We need persuasion skills. Means what? Ability to influence, ability to convince, ability to negotiate, and ability to sell. Who doesn't need it? Somebody says, I'm in operation, I'm into finance, I'm into this. I don't need persuasion skills. They're demonstrating basic ignorance of existence. Who doesn't need it? A candidate at a job interview, what's he doing? Selling, for which he needs what? Persuasion skills. A boy, girl proposing to get married, what are they doing? Persuading each other to get married. A politician giving speeches to get votes, what's he doing? Selling. Persuasion skills. What am I doing in front of you right now? Persuasion. See, right now, based on my ability or inability to persuade, either you are accepting or you are rejecting what I'm saying right now. Yes, no. Who doesn't need it? And only those people who have that ability can deliver results. And remember, in life, results are rewarded, efforts are not. Are you with me? In life, results are rewarded, efforts are not. Which means we judge ourselves by our intentions, but the world judges us by our actions. Yes, no. Hello? And lastly, I said 1, people skills. 2, 3, prioritizing. And folks, priorities are based on values. And folks, whose values are we talking about? Who are we to know my values are right? Who am I to judge? But let me ask you folks, you hear many times, values are subjective. They keep changing from person to person, situation to situation. How many believe values keep changing from person to person, situation to situation? Please raise your hand. Okay. How many disagree with that? Raise your hand. Okay. How many are confused? Please raise your hand. How many are too lazy they can't raise their hand? Please raise your hand. Okay. All right, folks. Bottom line is, people who said values are subjective, they keep changing from person to person, situation to situation. They have no values. Well, how can they keep changing, man? When we talk of values, we talk of not yours and mine. In our 3-day leadership program, we get deep into it, but we address from 2 perspectives, universal values and eternal values. Universal means they cross country, cross culture, cross religion. And eternal means they were here before we came, and they will be here after we are gone. And folks, look at this. The amount of time-saving devices we have today, we have never had that many in history. Yet we don't have time. You know why? Because somewhere we messed up our priorities, and priorities are based on values. And when we mess up our priorities, we are unable to distinguish between what's urgent in life and what's important in life. Urgent may not be important, and important may or may not be. But the funny part is, whenever we ignore what is important, it always converts into urgent. See, health is important. Exercising every day is important, but it's not urgent. But if I ignore my health long enough, I can't exercise tonight, it's not the end of the world. But if I ignore my health long enough, guess what will happen? I will end up in the hospital. In life, relationships are important. They're not urgent. But if you ignore relationship long enough, guess what happens? We start talking to our lawyers. Yes, no. See, you ignore what is important, it always converts into, this is it. And people who mess up their values and priorities, by the way, I am guilty of it myself. I'm not just a preacher here. I stand guilty in front of you. I messed up my values many times. But when people mess up their values, you know what they say? They talk this way. I don't have time. I never have time. Time comes, time goes, time comes, time goes, time comes and time goes. And folks, this is true. Time comes and time goes. Yes, no. Yes, no. Incorrect answer. Folks, time does not come and go away. We come and go away. Are you with me? Time is standing still. Time is not going anywhere. We come and go away. But people, when they mess up their priorities, you know what they say? Time flies. Time flies. Well, time flies, then time must be an aeroplane. Are you with me? But then if time is an aeroplane, who's the pilot? If we mess up our priorities, we become passengers. Somebody else is the pilot. And now supposing we are passengers. Folks, this is the last 30 seconds. Listen carefully here. Folks, when we become passengers in life, the pilot gets on the public address system and says, folks, I got good news and I have bad news. Good news is the tailwinds are favoring us. We shall reach our destination 1 hour in advance. That's good news. But the bad news is that the navigation system just broke. We don't know where we're going. But then he comes up to you in the passenger area and says, "Don't worry, I have a parachute for you. Take this and jump." And you jump. And when you jump, where do you land? In the middle of a jungle. And it is 9 o'clock at night, pitch dark. Jungle has some rules, folks. And the rules are 10 o'clock, all the animals will come out, eat you up. And the only way to get out of the jungle is to run south. Now, how do you know where is south? But at that time, folks, miraculously, a salesman appears from nowhere. And he says to you, "Sir, don't worry. I have a watch I can sell you. This will tell you how much time you have left before you get eaten up." And you look at the watch and you wonder, what the hell is going to do for me anyway? But then he says, "Don't worry. In my other pocket, I have a compass." So folks, it's a no-brainer. You will buy the compass and not the watch. Now, what is the moral of the story? Folks, the moral is very clear. Why would you buy the compass and not the watch? Folks, the moral is very clear. Remember, in life, direction is much more important than speed in life. Are you with me? Direction is much more important than speed. So whenever we have to make a decision in life, let the compass be the guide, not the watch. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I have some gifts. Sambui, I have some gifts. We have 3 names here. David Windley? David Windley, not here. Okay, that's all right. Well, we'll take it back then if he's not here. Don't worry about it. Emily Dickens? Okay, so we'll take that back also home. Don't worry about it. Anchal Khanna? Okay, so we'll take all 3 back. Thank you very much. All right, folks, we have a lucky draw. Whoever is the person here, could I request somebody from your team, just do the lucky draw for people here? Come on up here. Oh, you have the cards? Are they here? Coming here? Okay, we'll do it at the stall then. All right, folks, thanks a lot. Enjoy yourself.